best for the Mount Lions, and that one's going to be low. 1-2 the count now on Andrews. Coles comes set, the 1-2 pitch, and that one's hit well into right field. That'll get down for a hit in front of Aaron Farragala. Moving up to second base is Wayne Moek, in a quick start here for the Orediggers as they threaten with no outs and 2 runners on in the first.
And a good piece of hitting from Andrews, and what looked like a pretty good pitch from Coles, but just a little too much plate and allowed him to hit that ball to right field.
That brings up Luke Folsom, the two-way wonder here for the Orediggers. Also starting on the mound today for Colorado School of Mines as he fouls that first pitch off on the first base side. Gets out of play into the parking lot here at UCCS. Nice day here in Colorado Springs. A little bit of overcast, but pleasant weather otherwise. Just kind of that soft breeze coming in towards right field as that one misses outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now. And if you're not doing anything and you're in this Colorado Springs area, we'd love to see you out here at the park. Plenty of room here. 1-1. That one's going to be in there. Is not agreeing with it is Folsom, but he's behind now. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a good pitch, outside corner. 2-strike count. We want to see Coles throw something maybe outside of the zone. Don't want to give up another hit.
See what he goes with here. He goes breaking ball, and it breaks out of the zone towards the end, but reaching for it and fouling it away is Folsom. Count remains 1-2. 1-2 pitch again, and that one's fouled back out of play. So Folsom will take a little walk as home plate umpire Rob Montoya goes and gets a couple new baseballs to replenish his supply. 1-2 the count still. Coles looks in for a sign, shakes a couple off. Gets his sign and comes set. 1-2 pitch again. That one's a fastball down the middle, and he knocks that one the other way. They are sending Moek. Throw to the plate's gonna be there. Safe. He got his hand underneath the tag. What a throw by Aaron Farragala out in right field. The play was close, but it did look like Moek got his hand underneath, and the Orediggers strike first.
Yeah, with that throw just a little bit up the first base line, he had to come back, and that allowed Moek to get his hand in and get that first run of the game for the Colorado School of Mines.
RBI single for Folsom. That's his 48th RBI of the season as he helps himself here off the bat. Brings up Adam Hoteling in the cleanup spot here. Nobody out still for the Orediggers in the top of the first. First pitch low for ball 1.
And just too much plate on that 2-strike count. You had a 1-2 count. I wanted to see a pitch in the dirt maybe for a swing and a miss.
As that one's going to be grounded into right field again. Again, they will send Andrews. They're going to test Farragala this time. No chance, but getting the head of Richardson is the helmet of Andrews, and Richardson's not feeling good.
No, that helmet went right into his head, and as a catcher, you're taught to throw your own helmet off for a play at the plate, and he just dove his head in, and it hit. It just hit him straight in the head.
Back-to-back singles here puts Hoteling on. Erased at the plate for the first out of the inning is Mason Andrews, as Farragala wasn't going to let him get away with that twice. And Richardson's going to stay in the game as he shakes it off and gives his hair a little flip. Gets his helmet back on. Aaron Farragala is making his presence known early here from right field. Almost had 2 outfield assists on consecutive plays, but a nice slide by Luke Folsom, by Wayne Moek on Luke Folsom's single allowed the first run to score. That brings up Ely Shue now, shortstop for the Orediggers. That one just misses outside. Looked like a good spot from our vantage point, but called the ball at the plate, and ahead is Shue. Swinging on that second pitch, similar spot, but he gets the bite on it this time. 1-1, the count even. Coming back with that outside fastball, and that one's fouled away.
And this is what we've seen from Coles all year, getting ahead in counts, lots of strikes, just a little too much plate with 2-strike counts and giving up those 2-strike hits.
The Orediggers are certainly able to make noise offensively as Shue continues to battle, fouling that one down the first base line out of play.
And that was another dangerous pitch. That pitch was up and near the middle of the zone.
Coles does like to use his defense. He doesn't try to beat you himself, but you don't want to give them too good of a pitch early in at bats. 2-2 now as Shue continues to work on Coles. 1 out in the inning after the outfield assist erased Andrews at the plate. And this could be a double play ball for UCCS. There's one on to first, and no throw there. But Pastorello and Sayre turn it up the middle to get the middle runner, as moving up to third base is Folsom. But Hoteling takes a seat halfway to second, and Shue has a fielder's choice on first. That'll bring up Taylor White. Went off speed there to open the at-bat. Gets the foul ball to work ahead, does Coles. 0-1.
And Coles has had first pitch strikes to all but one batter so far, and that's what you want to see out of a starting pitcher, just getting ahead in counts. It puts the hitter on the back on their heels.
Second pitch misses outside, evening the count at 1. White, a good bat in the middle of the lineup. 364 his average on the season, as that one misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. So certainly nothing to look past here in the 6th hole. Runners on the corners, 2-1 with 2 outs here in the first. 1 run already in for the Orediggers. The pitch here, and that one's going to be bounced foul on the first base side, and the count is even at 2.
And with the RMAC conference and how many home runs are hit, and in this conference, there's never a safe quote-unquote hitter in any lineup at all.
Even at the wide open spaces that are here at Mount Lion Park, balls do get out in a hurry, as that one is in the dirt, and moving up to second base is Ely Shue. So 2 runners in scoring position now with a full count and 2 outs at the plate on Taylor White. And that one's hit up the middle for a base hit. Into score is Folsom, and around third, and also into score is Shue. And a 3-0 lead here in the first inning for the Orediggers, as the struggles for Jonathan Coles against the Colorado School of Mines continue. 2 RBIs for White. RBIs 18 and 19 on his season. As off with that pitch, the hit and run was on for the Orediggers, but now quickly behind 0-2 is Caden Bonds at the plate. Bonds has a .304 average on his season. Has work to do here. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed.
Good pitch.
Big strikeout there from Coles to come back, but 3 runs in the inning have the Orediggers up early. We go to the bottom of the first from Colorado Springs. Macaulay Sayre will lead things off for the Mountain Lions in their half of the first inning with a hole already dug here for UCCS, down 3-0. First pitch from Folsom is in there for strike 1.
And a big chance for the Mountain Lions to answer back. 3 runs in the first. This is the time to pick up your starting pitcher.
Working quickly here is Folsom. He goes off speed with that one, but misses inside, 1-1. Folsom comes in with a 7.88 earned run average. This will be his 9th appearance and start of the season, starting all the games he's pitched in. But this one's hit well to left center field, and that'll get down just before the wall. Around first and gliding into second with a leadoff double is Macaulay Sayre, and the Mountain Lions trying to work back right off the bat with the leadoff double.
And that's exactly what you want to see from your leadoff batter, getting on base at the very least, but hitting a double. That allows Pastorello now to hit him in and maybe trade places.
And Macaulay Sayre, who's a true freshman for the Mountain Lions, has come in and made an immediate impact on this program as he's earned that everyday starting job at shortstop. Trying to pick him off, and the throw goes into center field. Moving up to third base on the throwing error is Sayre, and the Mountain Lions have a run 90 feet away.
Not sure. You don't have to throw when you pick the second base. And with the lead that Sayre had, he wasn't that far off, and just a kind of an unnecessary throw at this point of the ball game. You're up 3-0, and now you have runner in scoring position with runner on third with nobody out.
And Folsom kind of hesitated for a moment right before he threw that, and I think that that extra hitch is what made that throw a little bit wild. I think, to your point, when he turned around and saw that lead wasn't quite what he thought it was, that made him hesitate and cause the error. But the throwing error allows Sayre to move up. Outside on that one, 1-1 on Mason Pastorello. Has a .412 batting average. 5 RBIs on his season. Still looking for his first home run, and a good time for it here as he fouls that one back, 1-2.
A home run would be nice, but in this situation, down 3-0, putting a ball in play is what you need. Not necessarily a fly ball, but the infielders are back. Just a ground ball anywhere is going to score Sayre.
1-2 pitch, outside fastball, swung on and fouled back. Count stays 1-2. Pastorello, the JUCO transfer in his first season with the Mountain Lions. 1-2 pitch again. That one's a curveball that he left hanging, and a little bit underneath it is Pastorello, but he gets the job done as Macaulay Sayre tags from third and scores, and the Mountain Lions get a run back.
And he got a pitch to hit. He got a ball up in the zone, and he drove it just right at the center fielder. But either way, a sacrifice fly gets the Mountain Lions on the board.
So after the sac fly, 1 out, nobody on, as Kit Wigington comes up plate and hits this one a ton into left field, and that one's going to sail over the wall. Mountain Lions have 2 runs back already, 3 batters to the plate and 2 runs in, 1 out with Caleb Stubbings, and he's nothing to sneeze at coming to the plate as Kit Wigington comes around after hitting his 13th big fly of the season.
And no matter what happens in this series, whether we make the postseason or not, looking forward in the future for the Mountain Lions, it's going to be Wigington and Stubbings at the heart of this lineup for the foreseeable future. And Wigington's 13th home run on the season now.
Wigington certainly in that conversation for long-time mainstay starters for UCCS. Caleb Stubbings in that conversation as well, as the freshman first baseman takes his first try, swing through, makes that count even at 1. First pitch swinging was Wigington, and he made no mistake. We'll see how Stubbings can respond. Dirty curveball there, kind of locked up Stubbings, but didn't come back over the plate, so 2 balls and 1 strike now on the first baseman of UCCS. Got a pitch to hit there and was a little bit behind it. 2-2, the count even again.
You got to think Folsom's done a lot. He was on base for at least 5, maybe 10 minutes in the top half of this inning, and now he's still out there pitching. Long first inning for Folsom.
And this one is an inside curveball that Stubbings gets underneath. Out there to make the catch in center field is Wayne Mowick for out number 2, and that'll bring up Aaron Faragala.
Yeah, just a late swing and jammed him. If he was a little bit earlier in that swing, that ball might have been over the left field fence, but caught off guard with that slider and gets jammed and hits it to center field.
And an early meeting on the mound here as the Orediggers saw something about Folsom that they didn't like, as the trainers out there as well. We'll take this opportunity. We never got to that starting offensive lineup for UCCS. Macaulay Sayre in that leadoff spot. Mason Pastorello second. Kit Wigington third with Caleb Stubbings fourth. Upcoming is Aaron Faragala in the 5 hole. He's followed by Casey Campbell, the DH, in the 6 hole with Tyler Richardson, Nate Heffelbauer, and Walker Rumsey rounding out the lineup for UCCS offensively. In the outfield for the Orediggers, Taylor White in left, Wayne Mowick in center with Mason Andrews in right. First pitch swinging, fouling that one out of play down the first base line is Aaron Faragala. On the corners in the infield, Danny McDermott at third, Adam Hotailing at first with Ely Shue and Caden Bonds up the middle at short and second base respectively, and Keen Tanaka behind the plate catching balls and strikes from Luke Folsom. 1-1 the count here on Farragala as he goes to work. Off-speed pitch there, kind of got a little hesitation out from Farragala as he softly fouls that one back to the screen. 1-2.
Good pitch.
And rung up on that one. Farragala doesn't agree with it, and he asks the home plate umpire, Montoya, where it was. But the Mountain Lions strike back in the bottom of the first, though they still trail a run as the Orediggers try and build back on their lead in the second inning when we return. Danny McDermott, brother of former UCCS All-American Matt McDermott, comes to the plate. There's a younger McDermott that is finishing up his high school career up in the Denver area. We'll see where he ends up, as there's been a host of McDermotts across the RMAC. We'll see where the final of that family decides to end up for his collegiate career. Quickly ahead here is McDermott as 2 balls delivered to open this at bat from Coles. 2 balls and no strikes the count. 2-0 fastball outside as well. 3 balls and no strikes.
Coles with a chance with a shutdown inning. He's got to fill up the zone here and trust his defense.
He's nibbling a little bit to start this one. Gets the call on the outside fastball there. 3 balls and 1 strike. Coles just not looking like his confident self so far in this one. Nice breaking pitch there, though, to run the count full. Coles likes his slider, utilizes it there to run the count full. 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out for the Orediggers in the second inning. The pitch to McDermott, and that one just below the knees, and Danny goes to first with a leadoff walk.
Now batting, number 18, Keen Tanaka.
I'll bring up the catcher, Keen Tanaka. Squaring around a bunt, but pulling it back, called a strike at the plate anyway. 0-1.
So far from the Orediggers, small ball has kind of been the way that they are wanting to play things. You mentioned earlier stolen bases, and this is now the second player to show bunt.
You typically see that early small ball approach more so in softball than baseball, as you and I have seen a lot on the other side of UCCS over at Mountain Lion Field as a gust of wind blows my notes all over. 0-2. That one's low and away, as trying to get a chase on that one was Coles, but Tanaka doesn't bite on it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Probably want something low in the zone here if you're Coles. Outside and low corner, as again trying to get the chase pitch in a good spot there from Coles. 2-2 though. comes set on the mound. 2-2 pitch. Fastball catches the plate and is fouled away on the first base side. Count stays 2-2.
Still a better two-strike fastball than we saw in the first inning. Low and away on that fastball, fouled off by Tanaka.
Another 2-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt and getting away from Richardson, so moving up to second base is McDermott on the pass ball. Fouling that one away. Count stays full.
Starting to feel like this game may be a shootout.
It absolutely could be that way. The Mountain Lions down in CSU Pueblo last weekend had a 42-run game as they came out on the wrong side of that one. 22-20 the final score in game one of that series with the Thunderwolves. 3-2 pitch way outside and back-to-back walks to start the inning for Coles.
And a lot of pitches, both players working full counts. That eats up a ton of pitches, and still nobody out in this inning, and the top of the order up now.
Indeed, as Wayne Moa comes back up for his second try of the day. Mountain Lions are staying with Coles as their bullpen is empty. He'll have to eat up some innings here. That one's inside.
Mountain Lions expecting a bunt with a little bit of a bunt play on there.
You saw Macaulay Sayre kind of break towards third to cover in the event that Nate Heffelbauer would have to crash, but no bunt comes through from Moek. 1-0 the count. A nice fastball right down the middle, overpowers Moek on that one, and 1-1 the count. McDermott on second, Tanaka on first, both walks, nobody out, 1-1. This could be two. Sayre bobbles it, still gets one at second though. But runners on the corners here with one out. And Mason Andrews, who singled in the first, comes to the plate.
Not the end of the world, only getting one out there, but a double play would have really changed the outlook of this inning. But now first and third, one out. Still a double play could end the inning.
Moving up to third is McDermott. Erased at second is Tanaka. See how Coles responds here. If he could get another ground ball, the Mountain Lions could potentially get out of the inning unscathed. First pitch outside for ball one. Coles comes set. 1-0 pitch. And that one's hit way high in the air. Shallow right field. Farragalla with the catch, tagging from third, the throw, and Farragalla showing off the arm again and thinking about tagging and promptly returning to third when he saw the throw was McDermott, and Aaron Farragalla's not letting the Orediggers score any more runs on him as he keeps the Mountain Lions within a run.
And that's exactly what you want to do as the Mountain Lions, because that's what the third base runner is trying to do, is get a throw to allow the runner on first to advance to second. You know, he threw it through the cutoff, and that held the runner on first as well. So just an overall fantastic throw from Farragalla.
First pitch breaking ball dropped in for strike one. 0-1 pitch, fastball at the knees for strike two. As Coles is starting to feel it a little bit here in the second as he's getting that confidence back. 0-2 with two outs. Runners on the corners for the Orediggers. Outside fastball is once again looking for that chase, but facing his counterpart on the mound at the plate. Folsom knew the strategy and stayed put. 1-2. Nice outside fastball again, bounced foul. Count stays 1-2 as Coles is in the driver's seat now.
There's a little bit of a wrinkle on that pitch. I almost think it might have been a cutter, and that's why he was out front just enough on it. And Coles almost got the swing and miss there.
1-2 pitch again. That one's on the outside part of the plate once again. Would have been called a strike, so wisely wasting that one down the first baseline is Folsom. Looks back to the umpire, said, would that have been a strike? And the umpire confirms.
I almost want to see a fastball inside here just to change something up.
He goes
Good
outside
pitch.
and low again in the dirt, and a great block indeed from Richardson behind the plate. As it's good to see that his head is still feeling okay after that collision in the first inning. 2-2 now. 2 outs in the top of the second. Runners on the corners. No runs in the inning. Mountain Lions try and get out of it. And a great curveball there is got Folsom off of his timing. Breaking for second and having to return to first is Moek. It's a little bit of a hit and run put on there from the Orediggers. 2-2 the count stays as Coles tries to get out of the inning. The pitch. Outside, they're going to throw to second. Out at second base, and that'll end the inning. Caught stealing for Moek. Ends the second for the Orediggers, and when they come back up to hit, Folsom will get a fresh count, but the Mountain Lions throw up a 0 and try and even the game at 3 when they come up in the bottom of the second inning. You're watching UCCS Baseball on UCCS Live and the RMAC Network. Casey Campbell leading things off for the Mountain Lions in the bottom of the second inning as Folsom back out there on the mound for his second inning of work. First pitch inside and low for ball 1 on that fastball. Swinging through that one to even the count at 1 is Campbell. Campbell comes into the day batting .270, has 19 RBIs on his season. 1-1 here. Off-speed pitch left high, but fouling it into the screen on the left field side. 1-2 now on Campbell. One-two pitch in the dirt. Good eye there from Campbell as he kind of bent his knees like he was going to go fishing for that one, but stays pat. 2-2. Campbell been a really solid bench option, for the Mountain Lions this season. 2-2 here, and this one's hit well down the left field line, and that'll drop in fair territory and skip over the fence. So a ground rule double. And kind of a tough break for Campbell there, is if that one hit the fence, it would have kicked around in that corner. He could have had a chance at third base, but he'll take the leadoff double, and 2 innings for the Mountain Lions in this game, 2 leadoff doubles.
And a great piece of hitting, a pitch on the outside part of the plate. He just slaps it down the line, gets a double out of it.
Brings up Richardson. Has a run out there. Nice curveball to open things up. Drops in for strike one. Pretty healthy lead, but no one holding Campbell on. Nice off-speed pitch again, and that one dropping back in. 0-2 quickly here on Richardson.
Now with an 0-2 count, looking for a ground ball to the right side of the infield to get Campbell to third base, and a runner on third base, less than 2 outs.
Lots of action on the pitches from Folsom, definitely keeping the Mountain Lions hitters on their toes, as that one's left over the plate, hit high in the air to left field. Underneath it though is White. He'll make the catch, and striding back to second is Campbell. 1 out, 1 on, and Nate Heffelbauer strides to the plate.
Heffelbauer.
Good job by Richardson though, after watching a couple strikes, getting the ball in play, at least giving him a chance, but a little bit underneath it. Now for Heffelbauer, he's batting .245 on his season to this point. First pitch fastball in there for strike one on the outside half. And kind of the big 3 pitches that we've seen from Folsom, that fastball, changeup, and curveball, all have very different motions, as you see the breaking ball there, 0-2. It gives them that pretty lethal pitch mix.
Definitely, and he just threw that slider as well, so I had a 4th one in there as well, and he's throwing them all pretty much for strikes.
Fastball, catching up to that one was Heffelbauer, fouling it straight back, and the count stays 0-2. Walker Rumsey comes out from the on-deck circle to pick that one up. Runner on second is Campbell, who led off with the double. 0-2 pitch to Heffelbauer. Nice job staying alive at the plate. 0-2 still after he fouls that one off. Coming in to check for a moment was Bonds, but that one's going to be bounced through the left side. Will they send Campbell? No, as he had to wait and make sure it got through, but doing a job and getting on to put runners on the corners is Heffelbauer, and the tying run for UCCS just 1 base path away, as Walker Rumsey will come to the plate.
Some great base running from Campbell. With a ground ball in front of the base runner like that, you got to make sure it gets through before you advance to third. That's why he had to freeze and didn't get the best jump so that he could try and score on that single.
Absolutely, and you never want to make an out on the base pass, especially at third base, down a run. So nice job staying conservative there by Campbell, not trying to score. First pitch misses low for ball 1. .1-0 pitch, there's that slider again, and that one's in there for strike 1. Lots of movement on that one. And a good-looking breaking pitch to go to for Folsom. 1-1, the count even. Pitch here, he goes fastball on the outside half, called for strike 2. Rumsey checks with the home plate umpire. I think he's asking if that's where that edge of the zone is, as you'll see a lot in the early parts of games as the hitter's trying to figure it out. They'll ask the umpires questions like that. Catching up to that one and fouling it down the right field line. Skips just out of play in the bullpen of UCCS. 1-2 now.
And that's exactly right. It's not to show up the umpire or anything like that. It's just making sure, hey, is that the edge of the zone, so that I know going forward, and I can tell my teammates as well that, hey, that's the edge. Anything further out, it's probably going to be a ball.
And everybody loves to hate on the umpires, but as a hitter, most of those conversations are mostly positive, and kind of those conversational pieces of, is that where the edge of the zone is can I expect anything further than that? If I did not foul that ball off, would have been in a strike, is typically how those conversations go. 2-2 curveball. That one's hit high in the air.
He's
Back
drifting.
is Moek, and tagging from third and also tagging from first. So both runners move up, and in to score is Campbell, and the Mountain Lions tie it at 3.
And great base running from Heffelbauer at first, seeing that Moek kept drifting further and further and further back. Why not tag up and get an extra base, a free 90? And now Macaulay Sir, runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Good 2-out knock, give the Mountain Lions the lead.
Second sac fly of the game for UCCS, as Pastorello had a sac fly to bring Sarah in the first. That one's in there for strike 1 on the outside half, as both of these pitchers like to start those at-bats off with those first pitch strikes. Check on Heffelbauer, 0-1 pitch, just outside on the fastball, 1-1. Ron Montoya at the plate's been pretty consistent with those outside and inside parts of the zone so far. 1-1. That one's just a bit low, and Sayre kind of hopping. You could tell he was really thinking about firing at that one, but stays put and gets the call.
When they jump around like that, it took everything for him to not swing at that pitch.
2-1 pitch this time. Outside fastball swung through. Evens the count, 2-2. Sayre came into the day batting .363. That'll improve after his first inning double. Also scored the first run for UCCS. And he gets kind of a jam shot here, but gets good wood on it and skies it out to center. But there to make the play is Wayne Moek, and that'll do it for UCCS. But they get that third run back and tie this game at 3, and we are all square at 3 going to the third frame from UCCS. Back here for the start of the third inning, Luke Folsom gets a fresh count as that fastball caught the home plate umpire behind the plate. Low for ball 1, and he's just going to walk it off as he, I think, took it right off the toe. Never a good feeling as a player or an umpire. Richardson kind of floats out towards the mound, not all the way to get a mound visit, but just to give the umpire some time. 1-0 pitch. That one's bounced down the third baseline. Heffelbauer makes the play.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Nate Heffelbauer. Flashes of Nolan Arenado over there. Makes the play on the line. Doesn't waste any time and throws out Luke Folsom at first base.
And that play is so difficult. You're running towards the third base line and throwing it across your body like that. Throwing it on target is hard enough alone, but getting enough on it to get the runner. What a fantastic throw.
Great play to start the inning for UCCS. That ball's in the dirt to open the second at-bat of Adam Hoteling with ball one. Don't see those types of plays very often at this level, and Heffelbauer making that one look easy is fouling that one into the dugout of UCCS's Adam Hoteling, 1-1. 1-1 pitch outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now on the breaking ball there. Two-one pitch. This one's going to get past Heffelbauer as he tried to make another diving play there, but into left field with a 1-out single puts Hoteling on first, and that'll flip it to Ely Shu.
And another good piece of hitting, fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he smokes it past Heffelbauer for that single just to the right of him. He did lay out, but he didn't have a chance. That ball was hit way too hard.
Yeah, good reaction over there at third by Heffelbauer, but as you said, he would have had to been like 7'6" to be able to get to that ball. But here for Shu, he fouls that first pitch off for strike one. He reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat in the first inning. Came around to score the third run on the RBI single from from Taylor White. 1-1. Bounced foul behind the plate, 1-2. Did he go? No, he did not. 2 and 2. Count evens on Shu. Mountain Lion fans wanted the call, but I think the right one was made, but swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch. Coming back to get Shu is Coles. And the Orediggers now with 2 outs as Taylor White tries to do something with Adam Hoteling out there on first.
And that's what you want to do with your curveball. You want to keep it in the zone as long as possible and have it fall off, and that's exactly what happened. Got the swing and miss.
And that's indeed how they can be so lethal. Kind of, you talk about that bottom dropping out of it type action. And when it looks like a strike for 3/4 of the way and just kind of drops off at the end, that's how it can be so lethal, is that is fouled down the first base side. 1 ball and 1 strike now on White.
And if you have a lot of RPMs on your curveball as well, somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000 is elite for a curveball. But that's where it stays in the zone so long, and then it so rapidly falls out of the zone.
1-1 fastball bounced over to Stubbings at first. He'll touch his bag, and the 1-out single from Hoteling is going to waste as he's stranded out there, and the Mountain Lions, after the big 3-run first inning, stay strong and go to the bottom of the third with the chance to take the lead, all square at 3.
Beat.
Mason Pastorello, who hit a 1-2 pitch into center field for a sac fly, bringing home Macaulay Sayre for the first run in his first at-bat. Squares around a bunt and almost deposits that one over the screen. 0-1.
Pastorello, kind of the prototypical two-hitter. Not a lot of power, but a high batting average and gets on base a lot.
Another bunt attempt as that one goes off the glove of Tanaka behind the plate, 0-2. And indeed, to your point, the JUCO transfer has kind of been that super utility player off the bench for UCCS defensively. Also has a very good bat. He's batting .412. That was to start the day, but stays as the sac fly doesn't count against him, but ground out to first base here. Gets the first out for the Orediggers in the third. Brings up Kit Wigington, who took the first pitch he saw in the first inning and put it over the left field fence. See if he goes with the same kind of efficiency here.
If he even gets a pitch to hit in this at bat, I don't think this is the one guy in the Mountain Lion offense that you just have to pitch around.
Indeed, it looks like that may be the case with the way outside breaking ball and a very low in the dirt fastball. 2 balls and no strikes as Wigington doesn't get a lot of pitches to hit, but doesn't waste time when he sees them. Outside, and that one's called a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike, and those outside corners is kind of where you have to stay with Wigington, as you said. 2-1 pitch inside, 3-1.
In this situation also, there's no one on base, there's 1 out. Even though it's a tie game, a solo home run really doesn't hurt.
Absolutely not, but they'll go after Stubbings instead as outside fastball puts Wigington on first with the 1-out walk. But Stubbings in the cleanup spot, nothing to look past either, so that's kind of that danger of the middle of the lineup for UCCS. 3, 4, and 5. You have Wigington, who is up there in the Division II offensive stats overall. Stubbings, who has had a very productive first season at the plate, takes for strike 1 here, but behind Stubbings is Farragala, and we've seen him do lots of damage. Had that walk-off grand slam against MSU Denver. Checking on Wigington on first, and he'll slide in safe. 0-1 the count still at the plate on Stubbings. Stubbings' brother up in Grand Junction playing for the Mavericks. Breaking ball there, just misses below the knees. 1-1. You see that kind of slider curveball action there. A little bit of a slurve pitch. Lined, and they're going to double up Wigington at first. Tough there as the Mount Lions had a little bit of a hit and run on, but the line out from Stubbings leaves Wigington as sitting duck between first and second, and it ends up being a 1-2-3 inning for Folsom and the Orediggers as we stay tied going to the 4th inning. First pitch fastball catches the outside half of the plate for strike one, as leading things off for the Orediggers is Caden Bonds in the fourth inning. Next pitch gets away, doesn't matter with nobody on, 1-1 the count.
We've really seen Cole settle down in these second and third innings now. Some traffic in those innings, but he's really battled and kept the game close, tied even for the Mountain Lions, with the score being 3-3.
Indeed, 2-1 pitch bounced over to Sayre at shortstop. He stays back on it, has a nice arm,
Good play.
fires it over to Stubbings on a hop and throws out Bonds for the first out of the inning. And you kind of see that arm strength there from Sayre as part of what earned him that starting spot at short. One out now for Danny McDermott, who walked in the second inning. This one's lined right into the shift as Pastorello is in short right field, and he'll grab that one for out number 2.
Now batting,
Quick 2 outs, now attack Tanaka.
Tanaka.
And to your point, as Cole's struggled in that first inning, but has settled in nicely, and even with that traffic, as you said, he just kind of the demeanor that he's put off has really changed since that first inning, as that was a really nice curveball dropping in for strike one.
This is the John Coles that we know and love, the John Coles from the first half of this season. This is what we've seen from him, and if he can find something today going into the postseason, that's going to be huge for the Mountain Lions.
Well, and the argument can be made that Coles is really the only reason that the Mountain Lions are still in the hunt for that postseason berth. They were really across the board struggling as a staff early in the season. Coles was really the only one that was stringing starts together, and he was getting those early wins in the season. They were few and far between for the Mountain Lions in the early going of the RMAC play. As swung on and missed, strike 3 as 1-2-3 in the fourth inning. Coles, as we said, settling in nicely and blanks the Orediggers in the fourth. The Mountain Lions try and take their first lead as we go tied 3 to the bottom of 4. Aaron Farragala, who has shown off his right arm a few times today from right field, already has a outfield assist. Could have had 2, but sneaking his hand in underneath Moek, scoring the first run as Farragala takes for strike 1 here. Back out there is Folsom for his fourth inning of work, trying to keep things even for the Orediggers. 1-1 as that one misses. That one's fouled back towards us, but the screen saves it.
If the net wasn't here, I would have had that. It's coming right for me.
You had that play at softball.
I did. That's right.
The one game that I am not on. Of course, you guys get one over there, but that one misses. 2-2, as we've been joking about making those plays. making plays over there. 2-2. And this one's hit a ton to left field. Watch that one fly, Aaron Farragala, as he'll trot around the bases. His 8th home run of the season, 41st RBI. And that one was a no-doubter to left field.
High launch angle, but in Colorado Springs, that doesn't matter. With the thin air, that ball is going to travel forever, and that ball well over 360, 370 feet for sure.
Yeah, 340 on the corner, but that one went over more towards those doors out there in left field, and that one had a solid 10 or 20 feet past the fence, is fouling the first pitch of his at-bat back for strike one is Casey Campbell, who in his first at-bat led off the second inning with a ground rule double also over there to left. And just missing that one, fouling it back, is Campbell, 0-2. Pitch. Inside fastball, gets the swing, not secured, but they'll record the out at first. That'll bring up Richardson, who flew out to center his first time.
And a good pitch. I believe it actually was a changeup because it had that downward drop right at the end to get that swing and miss from Campbell. But a great pitch from Folsom and a good bounce back after giving up that solo home run.
And this one's hit well into left center field. Oh, this one's going to go just off the top of the wall. Cutting first and going in, sliding to second base is Tyler Richardson with the 1-out double, and the Mountain Lions threatening again here with 1 out as Nate Heffelbauer, who singled in his first at-bat to left field, takes his second try.
And maybe 6 inches from another home run. That ball hitting the yellow trim on the outfield fence, just barely staying into this ballpark, and that's where launch angle comes in. He hit that ball extremely hard, but more of a line drive rather than in the air at that 30-degree angle into the outfield. But a double and a runner in scoring position for Heffelbauer.
Change up for strike one here on Heffelbauer, and exactly to your point, those are the kind of 2 different ones you can see here at Mountain Lion Field. That high and far kind of almost pop fly that just continues to sail, and the other side of the coin is that line drive, and that one got out there in a hurry. It would have been probably maybe even just 1 second before it hit the fence out there. This one's hit well into right field.
Drop.
Long run, and that one's going to drop in for a hit. Heffelbauer thought about 2. No one's at second base. And almost moving up again is Heffelbauer, as literally the closest Orediggers to second base was Ely Shue, and he was standing on the pitcher's mound. But Heffelbauer doesn't have quite the speed that Shue does, so wisely stays put. But a single with 1 out puts runners on the corners, as now Rumsey will come to the plate. And Rumsey, though he's only hitting .206 on the season, is spent all of last season in the leadoff spot for UCCS, so no stranger to situations like this where he just needs to get the ball in play.
Maybe a pitching change here. There's been action in the bullpen this entire inning.
And it looks like we will get that pitching change, so the two-way player comes out defensively. I imagine he'll stay in that DH role, does Folsom, as he is one of the best offensive players for the Orediggers. And we'll step away here as we have a pitching change in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mountain Lions now lead it by a run. So it'll be Marcus Lee that comes in. First pitch to Walker Rumsey, misses for ball one. Folsom goes 3 1/3. Swinging through that one, 1-1 now on Rumsey.
Looks like Marcus Lee has had some extended outings. He's had 12 appearances, but 19 innings, so he can go multiple innings.
Strike called on the outside half. Rumsey doesn't argue it. Get you some stats here in a moment on Lee. 1 and 2 though here on Rumsey. Outside, off speed, misses. 2 and 2. This one's hit high in the air to right field. Kind of maybe in no man's land. Nope, over to make the catch, but too short to tag for Heffelbauer at third. So the runners will stay put, and that'll bring up Macaulay Sayre after the fly out brings the Mountain Lions down to their final out of the fourth. For Marcus Lee, he comes in with a 7.32 earned run average. He's 1 and 1 in 12 relief appearances. As you said, those 19 2/3 innings kind of shows you that he fits into that long relief role a little bit. Strike one here to Sayre, who is 1 for 2 with a fly out and a double. Swung on and missed on that one, 0 and 2.
Good slider there from Lee. Gets up 0-2. Sayre's got to do some work, hopefully get on base to give the Mountain Lions to extend their lead, excuse me.
That one's on the ground to second base. He'll go the short way, Will Bonds. And that'll do it for the Mountain Lions in the fourth, but a moonshot from Aaron Faragala gives them the 1-run lead. Mountain Lions ahead 4-3 as we go to the fifth inning. Start of the fifth inning here in Colorado Springs. It'll be the top of the lineup leading things off for the Orediggers. Cole's back out there for UCCS on the mound, looking at Wayne Moek for the third time today. Misses for ball one. Hasn't seen Moek since the second inning, and that kind of speaks to the efficiency that Coles has had since those early innings. 1-1 here. Breaking ball there, and a nice one drops in for strike 2. 1-2. Final line on Luke Folsom. He goes 3 1/3, gives up 7 hits for 4 runs, all earned. Did he go? No, he did not at the plate. 2-2 on Moek. 1 walk, 2 punch-outs for Folsom. He faced 17 Mountain Lions and threw 66 pitches on his afternoon. 2-2 though here on Moek. Another cutter there. That one's high in the air on the left side. Calling for it is Stubbings, and he'll make the catch for out number 1 on Moek.
And a good pitch, as you said, that cutter going off the plate, off the end of the bat. It's going to be popped up to the first baseman. A good first out for Coles in this top of the 5th.
Mason Andrews back up there for the Orediggers. Kind of skips his feet back to get out of the way of that inside fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Another fastball here. That one's going to get foul. 1-1 as Stubbings was kind of preparing to lay out for that one if it stayed on the right side of the bag, but goes into foul territory. 1-1. The pitch here. Inside fastball again, and pulling his hips out and watching that one sail past him is Andrews. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball high in the air to left field. Going back to the wall is Wigington, and
Wow.
That one goes over the fence. And there you see it again. We talked about those kind of pop flies that continue to sail. It's the 9th home run of the season for Andrews, and the Orediggers get back even with the Mountain Lions, all square at 4.
And that's how this park plays. The fly ball to left field is just going to keep drifting, and sure enough, gone.
Luke Folsom.
If you get enough behind it, it doesn't matter where you hit it. And that'll bring up Luke Folsom, who stays in the game offensively. He'll ground this one over to Sayre at shortstop. He'll take Stubbings to the right side of the bag, but throws out Folsom, and a nice job there from Coles shaking off the home run and coming straight back to get Folsom on the first pitch.
And I like that this conference has an Ohtani rule where the pitcher can stay in the game as a DH when he's done pitching. So definitely smart to use Folsom in that role.
And this one's hit well to left center field again, and the Mountain Lions outfielders are going to watch this one fly. The 10th home run of the season, 28th RBI for Hoteling. And the Orediggers, just like that, are in front a run as these two teams duking it out for 5th place in the RMAC in sole position. And the Orediggers have the advantage here in the 5th.
There's a saying I said earlier, which is solo shots don't hurt you, but when there's a couple of them, they do. And just like that, like you said, the Orediggers are back in front.
So all it takes is one swing of the bat, and now going to first is Shu, so
Number 14, Taylor White.
Taylor White will try and add to the 5th inning lead here for the Orediggers. Been picking up here for a moment at Mountain Lion Park, fouling that one back behind the screen. First strike one is Taylor White. Oh and 1 on White after the hit by pitch. They'll check over on Shu at first, and a pretty close pickoff play there from John Coles on the mound. Stubbings applying the tag, but there, getting his hand back in with Shu. 0-1 pitch. Looked like a cutter there from Coles, and that one misses just below the knees, 1-1. Fastball bounced down the first base side. Ooh, nice pick out of the Mountain Lion dugout. Not sure who that was, but flashing the bare hand over there. 1-2. Gets a cheer from the Orediggers dugout. Game respect game over there from the bench players. Runner goes down the first baseline. That was inches foul. It's going to skip into play, and Farragal will jog over and retrieve it in right field. 1-2, the count stays, and that would have been trouble for the Mountain Lions if it stayed fair. Although it was so close to the line, it probably would have skipped off the bag as well, which would have been even more trouble for UCCS. 1-2 instead. The pitch here, fastball high on that one, coming out of his crouch to catch it just above the letters was Richardson, 2-2. Twos are wild on the scoreboard, 2-2 with 2 outs, runner on first for the Orediggers. That one just a little bit low. Good pitch though. Spot-wise from Coles, looking for a chase. Just missed the bottom of the zone, though. 3-2 now with 2 outs. Runner on first is Ely Shu. He was hit by the first pitch he saw. 3-2, swung on and missed. Got him with the outside fastball and a big strikeout for John Coles. But the Orediggers get the lead 5-4 here as we go to the bottom of 5 from Mount Lion Park. Mason Pastorello will get the first crack at Marcus Lee in the 5th inning for UCCS as they try and get back even. Another bunt shown, but called a strike on the breaking ball on the outside half. 0-1. That one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another bunt attempt, but fouling that one back as Pastorello takes a look at his bat barrel. 1-2. Nice breeze from right field still, nothing too bad. That one misses outside on the fastball. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, a lot of two-seam run on that fastball. A four-seamer would have stayed on the black. Two-seamer ran a little bit off. Wanted to get a swing from Pastorello.
2-2 pitch here, and that one's fouled off. Kind of going off of that chest pad of the catcher Tanaka. He is no worse for wear. 2-2.
Catchers like compared to hockey players, they're so tough back there, and they're unwilling to come out of a game when they're hurt.
And getting Pastorello to lean in and bite on that outside fastball. Chases strike 3. Out number 1 in the first at-bat of the 5th inning for UCCS, as Lee has looked good since he came in to replace the starter Folsom. Dangerous Wigington, though, at the plate. Nice breaking ball there, but just misses off the outside half. 1-0.
Definitely looking good from Lee, because we've seen, looking at his numbers, 30 hits in his 19 innings coming into today. So lots of traffic.
And he jams Wigington on that one. He'll ground it over to second base there. To make the play, though, is Bonds for out number 2, and that brings up Stubbings. 5 runs on 7 hits and an error for Mines. 4 runs on 7 hits and no defensive errors for the Mountain Lions through the first 5 innings.
See ya.
Yeah, this one's gonna get over the fence, it looks like. Yes, indeed. Solo shot evens the game at 5 as Caleb Stubbings blast his 15th home run of the season. Gives him 55 RBIs. And the big offensive first season for Caleb Stubbings continues here.
Now batting, number 34,
Aaron Farragala, who has a home run himself his last time up to give the Mount Lions their 4th run. 3 home runs in the game for UCCS, all of the solo variety. As they start to stack up on Mines here, 5-5, we are even, as that one is fouled by Farragala, 1-1.
It's worth noting now, with those 2 freshmen, Stubbings and Wigington, there's 28 home runs combined for them this season. That is an incredible number for players that are going to be in this organization, hopefully for 3 more years.
Swinging through that low fastball, 1-2 on Farragala now. And you talked about Stubbings and Wigington. They are just so good. You almost fear that they may move up to the Division I level at this pace. For UCCS's sake, they hope they just continue their torrid pace and stay put here in Colorado Springs.
Or dare I say drafted.
Indeed, that could be the case. Swung on, foul tip held Tanaka. And the strikeout ends the inning as Farragala goes down swinging, and the Mountain Lions get their 5th run and even the game at 5 after the long home run from Caleb Stubbings. We head all square at 5 to the 6th inning. Dylan Grierson in for UCCS on the mound as Coles ends his day, goes 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs all earned, 2 free bases, and 4 punch-outs in 24 batters faced. He threw just over 90 pitches at 91. First pitch from Grierson in for strike 1. Second one hit high in the air into right field. That's going to get down just foul. 0-2 is the long foul ball. Falls just on the wrong side of the line for Bonds, and he'll return to the plate. 0-2. Oh-2 pitch, outside fastball, doesn't chase, does Bonds. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, looking for the chase, but not getting it. Good block behind the plate by Richardson to keep it in front of him. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there to get the first punch out of his day and the first batter he faces.
Now batting, number 10, Danny McDermott.
Brings up McDermott. Bounces this one over to Pastorello, who is playing in deep right field. Goes for the underhand flip. A little bit of an interesting choice there from Pastorello, but he still beats
Now batting, number
the runner in McDermott to the bag.
Yeah, when you're running in like that, when he's playing already in shallow right field with the shift on, and you have to run in like that, that was kind of the in-between zone. You can make a decision, and the underhand toss was probably the right decision with the runner still being far enough away from first.
Yeah, kind of that. If you are running hard at first base and you throw it overhand, you kind of risk overpowering your first baseman and kind of sneaking up on him a little bit on the harder throw. So, as you said, kind of that dilemma zone for second baseman, and nice breaking ball there. Indeed. 1-2. As the batter now is Tanaka, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. 2-2 though, as that one misses. Three and 2 the count, now full. Three-two pitch, hit into right field. Will it stay in play? It does, and it falls in fair territory in the corner. Up with the ball and throwing it into Pastorello is Faragala. So a 2-out double down to his final strike. Tanaka deposits one to the corner, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup in Mowick.
It kind of a late swing, but slaps it down the right field line and bounces just shy of the warning track. Goes in for a double.
See if the Orediggers can do something here with 2 outs with Mowick on, with a runner out there for him. First pitch, inside strike, and a nice one there as he kind of jammed Mowick on that inside half. You could kind of see that kind of inside, took the hands in body language from Mowick. 0-1 pitch. Fastball again at the knees for strike 2. Grierson's going right after Wayne Mowick. Mowick is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, a fielder's choice, and a fly out. And this one's hit on a line into left field, hit too hard for the runner to come around. So Tanaka holds up at third, and now runners on the corners all of a sudden for
number 22,
Andrews, who
Andrews.
had that Kind of pop fly action, home run to left field his last time up.
And just way too much play on an 0-2 count like that. That pitch needs, I think he was maybe trying to go for a high fastball and just left it too low to give Mowick a chance to drive that ball.
Yeah, kind of inside half belt level. Outside fastball just misses there, as trying to paint the corner on Andrews was Grierson, but misses on that first offering for ball one. This one hit into center field, kind of getting a late jump.
Oh, let's go.
Diving. And making the catch is Walker Rumsey. Kind of hesitated on his first step, but recovers nicely and makes a nice diving grab to get the Mountain Lions out of the inning scot-free. 5-5, the score stays as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning from Mountain Lion Park. Casey Campbell will lead things off in the sixth for UCCS as they try and recapture the lead. First pitch swinging as Campbell bounces that one foul for strike one. Campbell's been seeing the ball well today. Had a leadoff double in his first at-bat in the second inning, but struck out on 3 pitches in the fourth. But had a couple long foul balls on the way to that 3-pitch strikeout. 0-2 here as he tries to avoid that same fate. 0-2 pitch and kind of jams him. Can he beat it? And misplaying it at second base and running through first is Campbell. An error, it'll be undoubtedly on Bonds. Gives the Mountain Lions a leadoff base runner.
Number 7, Tyler.
And that's a do-or-die play for a second baseman trying to get Casey Campbell at first. Just lifts his glove right at the last second and is not able to make the play.
Richardson charges this one out to left field. That's over the head of White. Going first to third is Campbell, and into second base with his helmet in his hands is Tyler Richardson as he let the flow fly there around first base, but was able to catch his helmet as it came off the back of his head, and that'll bring up Heffelbauer with a couple of RBIs out there.
I don't even know how that helmet came off. He must have just been running so hard that it just flew off into his hands.
Well, I'm not sure how it ended up in front of him. I was watching the ball out there in left field, and as I look back, he was holding it. So interesting, but an error and a double in the inning has a couple of more Mountain Lion runs out there for Nate Heffelbauer on the base pass as he takes for a low ball one. Soft grounder back to the pitcher's mound. Lee will look back Campbell, so he'll stay put at third. First out of the inning for the Mountain Lions is Heffelbauer.
That was pretty much the only ball in play that wasn't going to work. Just a little squibbler back to the pitcher. So now Rumsey needs to put a ball in play to score Casey Campbell.
One out here for Rumsey. Sac fly will get the job done, but as you said, you need a ball in play. Foul tip for strike one.
A ground ball up the middle would be nice.
I don't think Rumsey would complain about that for a second. 0-1 with one out. Runner on third, Campbell. Runner on second, Richardson. 0-1 pitch. Outside fastball called for a strike. Looked like that was a little bit outside, but getting the call is Lee. Kind of right in that 50-50 zone on the black.
That was the farthest outside that this umpire has gone either way still. Close enough pitch for it to go either way, like you said.
Indeed a hittable pitch out there. 0-2 is a low ball for the count to move to 1-2. Head coach of the Mountain Lions, Dave Hadjick, over there. Whispers in the ear of Campbell. Wonder if there's some sort of play put on here by UCCS. 1-2. One out, two on for UCCS. The pitch inside, rung up, strike three. Big strikeout there for Lee as he gets the backwards K for out number 2 on Rumsey. Going outside for the first few pitches, comes back inside and locks up Rumsey for the strikeout. And there is action in the bullpen. I don't know if we're going to get a change here, but I think this is the last batter for you. If you get him out of the inning, this will be your last inning. But if he gets on, walk or hit, we'll probably go to the bullpen is what I imagine the conversation is out there on the bump. Recap of the inning. Campbell reached on the leadoff error out at second from Caden Bonds. He moved up to third on the Tyler Richardson double, and that's where they stay. After that, Nate Heffelbauer grounded back to Lee on the mound for out number 1, and then Lee was able to get the looking strikeout of Rumsey for out number 2, but the top of the lineup in the dangerous Macaulay Sayre, who has a double, is 1 for 3 overall with a fly out and a ground out in his 3 tries. See what he can do here.
Base hit, scores 2 runners.
Any way you draw it up. That one's low for ball 1. 4th trip through the lineup for UCCS, beginning with Sayre's at bat. Five runs on 9 hits for both teams. Called a strike on the outside half. That one was definitely over that outside half of the plate. Sayre may have thought it was a bit high, kind of at the letters, but getting the call is Lee. One. Leaves a fastball over the plate, but just a little bit late on it was Sayre on that high heater. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2. Outside, 2-2. There's that hop from Sayre again as he wanted that one, but wisely stays put in the box. 2-2 with 2 outs. 2 runners on for UCCS in the 6th as they try and recapture the lead. Lee tries to work out of the inning unscathed. This one is going to get out of play on the first base side. Count stays 2-2. Pastorella waits on deck if the inning gets to him. 2-2. Change up. Ooh. Nice catch out there by Ely Shu. Gets up off the ground, and the Mount Lions get their first 2 runners on, but leave them stranded on second and third as Lee is able to work out of the inning and keep UCCS scoreless. The score stays tied at 5 as we go to the 7th inning, and a good one here from Colorado Springs. Luke Folsom takes his 4th at-bat of the day. He has an RBI single back in the first, and then a couple of ground outs since his 1 for 3 overall. First pitch to him, low heater swung through for strike 1. Oh, 1. Breaking ball hit well.
That's gone.
That one was left hanging, and indeed this one will travel over that right center field fence as Rumsey and Farragalla look at each other as it sails over their head. And the Orediggers strike and get that 1-run lead back. It is the 12th home run of the season for Folsom, and it gives the Orediggers that 1-run lead.
Number 15, Adam O'Haley.
Lots of home runs in this game.
I believe it's 6 total.
3 for each side, indeed, as I was trying to do that mental math. 0-1 pitch hit in, coming in and having to pull up is Wigington out there and left. So another base runner after the home run as Hotailing, who has himself a home run. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Andrews, Folsom, and Hotailing having the home runs for the Orediggers. And 3 singles now with the home run for Hotailing makes him 4 for 4. Brings up Ely Shu, who is looking for his first hit of the game. Kind of a slug bunt there, hit in the air, and in from third base to make the catch is Heffelbauer.
Now batting, number 14.
That'll bring up Taylor White, who has a single, is 1 for 3. So pop out bunt for Shu is out number 1. Don't see the pop out bunt to third base very often. First pitch though to White misses for ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Outside fastball just misses. 2-0. Good spot there on the outside half from Grierson. Hit and run put on, fouled away. Out of play for strike one.
That's the right time to do it. Sorry, excuse me. That's the right time to do it. 2-0 count. You know Grierson's coming at him with a fastball. Or, I should say, just a strike in general. So he's going to be swinging. So, right time to do so.
Indeed, as Grierson's going to switch out that baseball. 2 balls and 1 strike the count after the foul ball. Two and two. Pitch here, breaking ball just misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Just didn't break enough back in. Good curveball. It just stayed off on the outside part of the plate. Almost strike 3.
Had the movement, but not quite enough. 3-2 pitch. And runner went, but walk recorded at the plate, so no stolen base for Hotailing, and 2 on with 1 out now for Bonds. First walk of Grierson's day. See how he responds. Bonds at the plate. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Nice job there behind the plate, keeping it in front by Richardson for ball 1. This one's hit in the air to right field. Going back, making the grab is Faragala. Kind of thought that Hotailing would tag up there with Faragala moving back, but he went halfway instead, so he stays at second base, and White has to stay put behind him. First and second now with 2 outs is trying to get out of the inning with just the home run as Danny McDermott comes to the plate. First pitch, fastball, strike on the outside half. Grierson comes set, working from the stretch now with runners on. 0-1. Another fastball swung through. 0-2. Great outside fastball there, overpowers McDermott. 0-2 now with 2 outs. As Grierson tries to get out of the inning, just the 1 run. The pitch. Fastball, strike 3 on the outside half. McDermott goes down looking, and Grierson gets out with just the 1 run surrendered, but the Orediggers now lead by a run once again, 6-5, as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time here from Mountain Lion Park. Pastorello will lead things off for UCCS. First pitch he sees, he skies to left field. Going towards the fence and reaching up to make the grab on the track is Taylor White for out number one. Kind of looked like that one could fall into that drifting situation out there, but dying on the track for Pastorello and for out number one.
What's absolutely crazy to me is that looked like a routine flyout, and that ball drifted to the warning track. It's just crazy. Playing baseball in Colorado Springs is nuts.
Adds a certain excitement to it indeed, as that one is in there for strike one at the knees on Wigington. Wigington had that first inning home run and a monster shot from him to start off the home runs of the day. 1-1 now as that one misses outside. That one outside on the corner, 1-2. Heater catches the edge, and Wigington kind of asking that question, is that where the edge of the zone is? And Rob Montoya behind the plate confirms. This one, outside fastball, hit well to center field, but there to settle underneath it and make the catch is Moick. And 2 flyouts for 2 outs here for the first 2 batters that Lee faces in the 7th, as Stubbings tries to avoid the 1-2-3 inning for UCCS and give them a shot to get even. First pitch inside for ball 1. One-oh pitch in there at the knees, 1-1. Center cut fastball, and just a little bit underneath it, fouling it back is Stubbings. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caleb has one of the Mount Lions' big flies his last time up in the 5th to give the Mount Lions their 5th run. Fouling that one back again. Count stays 1-2. Stubbings 1 for 3 overall, has a line out that ended up in that double play in the 3rd, and then a fly out to left. Just below the outside corner is that pitch, evening the count at 2-2. Mines faithful here in Colorado Springs wanted the call. Does not get it, as the Orediggers fans have traveled well down I-25 down here to the Springs from Golden. 2-2 now, as that one's fouled back once again. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. 2-2 pitch, and fouling that one off again, and handing out souvenirs is Stubbings, a man of the people.
Man of the people, man of the children. Kids love getting foul balls at baseball games.
2-2 once again inside, and that one will get back to the backstop, but no runners on, so no harm, no foul for Colorado School of Mines, as the count now full on Stubbings, and a very nice at-bat put together here, as this will be the 10th or 11th. I've lost count at this point. I believe 10th, if my mental math is correct. See who wins the battle here. 3-2 with 2 outs. Stubbings and Lee duking it out. The pitch, low, ball 4, and a great at-bat to get on base by Stubbings and push it to Farragala.
Now batting number 34, Aaron Farragala.
And And we're going to get a pitching change here, it looks like. So with 2 outs in the 7th, the Mountain Lions have a runner on with Caleb Stubbings on first, and Aaron Farragala at the plate will face the new pitcher when we return to Mountain Lion Park. The Mountain Lions down a run. Creethy. Zach Creeth comes in for the Orediggers, the odds-on closer for the Orediggers as he delivers strike 1 to Farragala. Second pitch swung on and missed again by Aaron. 0-2 quickly as Creeth tries to shut the door.
Yeah, I think he may be going for a 7-out save here. We may see him go the rest of the way.
Runner on first is Stubbings. He's the responsibility of Lee, so only 1 earned run surrendered as of now for Lee, but we'll see how that changes. He goes 3 1/3, gives up 2 hits, a walk, and strikes out 3. Swung on and missed. Nice curveball there as Creeth comes in and gets the strikeout of Farragala, and the Mountain Lions come up empty in the 7th. The Orediggers in the 8th will look to build on their 1-run lead when we return to Colorado Springs. Nice. First pitch, fastball is bounced over to, Pastorello at second base for out number 1 as Tanaka leads things off with the ground out and brings up Moek for his 5th try of the game. Moek is 1 for 3 officially, also has a hit by pitch and a run scored, both in the first inning on those two. Inside strike to open his at-bat. Grierson comes back with the outside fastball, but just misses off the plate, 1-1. That one misses below the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Moek. And an inside strike again, and Moek doesn't seem to like that spot, so I wouldn't be surprised if Grierson comes back. A pitch here, inside once again, catching up to that one and hitting it high out of play behind home plate for 2-2. That hit the truck. 2-2 pitch. This one's bounced on the left side, just out of the reach of a diving Heffelbauer, and a 1-out single puts Moek on.
Now batting, number 22, Mason Andrews.
Brings up Mason Andrews, who's 2 for 4 with a single, a home run, and a couple of flyouts, so put the ball in play each time. That single in the first, he was thrown out at home plate trying to score on Farragala. Very nice throw out there on back-to-back plays from Farragala out there. Was able to get Andrews on his second try. Pitch goes to the plate. Fastball low for ball 1. Good speed on that fastball from Grierson. In the dirt, off the mask of Richardson, almost kept it in front of him, but kind of went off the side of his face mask and skipped away. So moving up on the wild pitch is Moek.
I almost wonder if that ball got under his mask because of the way that his mask flew off. So hopefully, and I would assume he's okay, but just a really awkward when the ball hit his mask and flew off.
There is action in the UCCS pen. Can't quite tell who that is over there from our angle, but keep an eye on that one as Mark Lee, the pitching coach of UCCS, makes his way to the mound. Pitching coach for UCCS, spent a few years pitching in the big leagues. I believe he had a mid-3 ERA. Nothing to sneeze at, and a couple of big league innings for the pitching coach of UCCS. First mound visit charged to UCCS today. 2-0 at the plate on Andrews. Six runs on 12 hits and 2 errors for the Mines. 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors for UCCS where we stand. Low ball 3 after the mound visit. 3-0 now.
I'd imagine this is probably his last batter no matter what.
Call the strike at the knees on the inside half, 3-1. Three-one pitch, outside, ball 4. First and second now with 1 out, as coming to the plate is Folsom, and a dangerous batter. Will
Number 25.
keep an eye on the dugout. Doesn't look like Hadjick's going to make a move yet, and he does come out now, so that'll end the day for Grierson. Wanted to make sure that Folsom was announced, so he'll have to take the at-bat against the new pitcher, and we will step away as we have a pitching change here in the top of the 8th inning. Grierson comes off for UCCS. Mount Lions down a run as the Orediggers looking to add. Garrett Shriver comes on for UCCS in the second reliever to see the mound for the Mount Lions. Grierson goes 2 1/3. The runner's out there, his responsibility. First pitch misses for ball 1 to Luke Folsom. One-zero pitch at the knees. Nice heater there for strike 1. Evens the count at 1. As it stands right now, Grierson 2 1/3, 45 pitches, 5 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 14 batters faced. We'll see if that changes at all as the runner's out there still on his book. 2-1 now at the plate on Luke Folsom. Shriver comes in, 540 earned run average, has yet to have a decision, is 10 or this is his 11th appearance, I should say, all of which in relief. That one low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Shriver struggles to get going here.
I don't want to see Hootailing come up. He's 4 for 4 today, so it's a dangerous bat following Folsom.
Certainly not with the bases loaded. 2 on with 2 outs, one thing, but it will be bases loaded, 1 out for Hootailing, who takes a big hack right before he exits the on-deck circle.
Adam Hootailing.
Yeah, 3 singles and the solo home run for Hootailing. Big at-bat in this ball game. Difference of keeping it close to potentially blowing it up.
Moak moves up to third, Andrews to second, and Folsom now on first. Only out in the inning was the leadoff hitter Tanaka, who grounded over to Pastorello. First pitch in there on the outside half for strike 1. Hootailing, as you mentioned, single, home run, single in the first, third, fifth, and eighth. Or excuse me, fifth and seventh. So all odd innings he's come up before this eighth inning at bat. Fouls that one back to the screen. 0-2 though here, as Shriver tries to solve him for the first time. Oh, 2. Outside, just misses. Nice chase pitch there, outside and low, but staying put is Hoteling, who has clearly been seeing the strike zone very well. 1-2 now. Pitch here. Inside fastball hit into left field, going back to tag, but it's over the head and gets down. Wigington misjudged it. 2 runs are going to come in to score as the throw is late behind Andrews, as Mowick and Andrews are the 7th and 8th runs for the Orediggers as they try and pull away from the Mountain Lions in the late innings. Ely Shu comes up. 2 runners still on for the Orediggers, as up to second base is Folsom, and after the 2 RBI single, Hoteling on first. 4th single of the day for Hoteling. And Shu, who still looking for his first hit, is behind 0-1.
And yeah, just a great piece of hitting from Hoteling, going the opposite field and hitting it to the wall. Only got a single out of it because all the runners had to freeze to see if the left fielder was going to catch it.
0-1 pitch here is off speed and misplaying it off the glove, and everybody will be safe. See whether or not they give a hit or an error on that one.
Number 14, Taylor White.
It is a hit indeed, as moving up to third is Folsom, second is Hoteling, and once again bases loaded, situation 1 out as White at the plate. First pitch in there for strike 1.
A ground ball would be massive right now to get out of this inning for the Mountain Lions. Otherwise, more damage can be done.
Anyway, you draw it up. If you step on the base, you'll get an out. This is up the middle. There's one. Sayre to first. Double play ends the inning. And the Mountain Lions give up a pair, but limit the damage there. And the Orediggers have that 8-5 lead as the Mountain Lions try and respond in the bottom of the 8th inning. They have 6 outs to work with, and they need 3 to get even with the Orediggers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning from Mountain Lion Park. Casey Campbell leading things off here in the bottom half of the 8th inning for UCCS. Down 3, the Mountain Lions need to go to work here. Outside curveball called for strike 1. Big double play to end the inning keeps the Mountain Lions within striking distance as the count evens at 1-1 on Casey Campbell at the plate.
Yeah, I'd imagine we're going to see Creeth the rest of this game getting that multiple innings save, 7 out save actually, because he finished the bottom of the 7th inning as well.
Indeed, and that one will be chopped just foul. Kind of looking for it was the catcher Tanaka. 1-2 the count. One and two. Outside 2-2. Two-two pitch, breaking ball fouled off by Casey Campbell, keeps the count even at 2. Mount Lions looking for a leadoff base runner in the 8th. Curveball again and just missing that outside corner is a good call as it was received in a strike spot, but across the plate outside. Count is full now. And bouncing that one foul is Casey Campbell. 3-2 the count remains, and Creeth works quickly but takes a little bit of a detour back to the mound. 3-2 pitch again, and this one's hit well into right field, but right there to make the catch is Mason Andrews. Looked for a moment like it was going to get into the gap, but a good first step by Mason Andrews out there, and he's able to make the catch out there and right.
Like you said, exactly. Perfect first step, immediately seeing the ball off the bat and getting into position to make that play. Props to the right fielder for that.
I'll bring up Richardson, who's got a pair of doubles and a fly out, is 2 for 3. Out in front of that one, bounces it into the dugout of the Orediggers. Nice little short hop pickup made over there in front of the dugout by one of the Orediggers bench players. 0-1 at the plate. The pitch here swung on and missed on the changeup. 0-2 quickly here on Richardson. Mount Lions down to their last 5 outs, need 3 runs to keep pace with the Orediggers. Oh, 2 high, ball 1. Good eye there by Richardson. As clouds kind of coming over and casting shadow as they move over Mountain Lion Park here. This one's hit straight up in the infield and out from behind the plate to make the catch is Tanaka as Creeth kind of covers his head and bails out of the infield.
I was just going to say that. He just ducked out of there. Just didn't want anything to do with that fly ball. But come on, man. Pitchers are athletes. Pitchers got to make those plays too.
I don't know. I think he wasn't sure where the ball was, and they were kind of calling for it up in the infield. I think he thought it got more towards the outfield, and when he saw his catcher Tanaka kind of to come towards the mound to make a play on it, he wasn't sure where it was, but somewhat hilariously, yeah, he literally covered his head and ran away.
Yeah.
0-1 now on Heffelbauer as tying his shoe on the mound is Creeth. That one misses. 1-1. Looked like a good spot, but called the ball, and hesitating before he threw it back to the mound was Tanaka behind the plate. Thought that was going to be in there. On a couple hops over to Shu, has to get rid of it quickly to be able to get to Heffelbauer, and he does. to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 for Creeth in the 8th, keeps the Mount Lions scoreless. And the Orediggers trying to extend their 3-run lead in the 9th inning as we go to the final frame from Mount Lion Field. The top of the 9th inning, it'll be 7, 8, and 9 in the Orediggers lineup, due up with Bonds, McDermott, and Tanaka scheduled. The 2 runs last inning, though, they were technically given up while Shriver was on the mound. They were the responsibility of Grierson, so that closes the book on him. He goes 2 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 2 walks, 2 punch-outs. Another nice play over there at third. Can he make the out?
Wow.
Out at first. Wow. Again, Heffelbauer flashing the leather over at third base and just beats Bonds at first for the first out of the 9th inning. Wow.
Yeah, he's got a great arm over there at third base, a classmate of ours actually, and he's just done so well today over at third base. Looking forward to the future of him with this Mountain Lion team as well, because I don't believe he's a senior. He should be here next year as well.
No, unfortunately, he is a senior.
Oh, he is a senior.
We'll celebrate Senior Day tomorrow as, he looks to move on, as you mentioned, the 3 of us sharing a strategic communications class this semester at UCCS. Did our final presentations yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
1-1 now on Danny McDermott at the plate. He is 0 for 3, with a walk. He was stranded on third base in the 2nd inning after that walk. Is behind 1 and 2. And too bad we won't have that Thursday afternoon class anymore, because we'll have to give Heffelbauer a pat on the back next time we see him.
Definitely.
2-2 now. Couple of really outstanding plays over there at third, where Heffelbauer hasn't played a lot of third base this year, a lot of second and shortstop, but this may be his first start over there, as the outside low fastball gets McDermott to chase. The strikeout is the 2nd out of the inning for the Orediggers.
Now batting, number 18, Team Tanaka.
First pitch misses outside. Good spot, though, from, Shriver on the mound. Ball 1.
With a little bit of 2-seam run as well. I thought that could have been called a strike, but just must have stayed off the plate a little bit.
Kind of that 2-seam fastball look again, and that one's going to get just out of play behind the Mountain Lions dugout for strike 1, evening the count at 1. UCCS and the Orediggers, as we mentioned early in the game, fighting for sole possession of 5th place in the RMAC. in the final series before the conference tournament. 1-1 pitch, fouled off first base side again. 1-2 now on Tanaka. Tanaka has a double, is 1 for 3 officially, also has a walk, but was erased on a fielder's choice after that walk in the second inning in his first at-bat. Was stranded at third in the 6th after his double. Swung on and missed, and a great pitch. Gets the beautiful play at third base for the first out, and a little help from his friends over there at third and Heffelbauer, and comes back to strike out the next 2 in an important 1-2-3 inning for the Mountain Lions as they try and get even. They need 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th to tie this game. They need 4 to win it, as Creeth will be back out there for the Orediggers when we return to Mountain Lion Field. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for the Mountain Lions. Although a little look into the crystal ball, I think we're going to get a pinch hitter later in the inning. 1-0 though, as the first pitch from Creeth misses. Curveball in there. 2 back-to-back curveballs evens the count, 1-1. As that's the go-to pitch out there for Creeth. He's used it quite often. 1-1. That one looked more like a slider. 1-2.
Yeah, he's mixing up a slider and a curveball, both with lots of different speed. And even then, I've seen some of his pitches where he'll throw things harder or even softer. So it looks like it's only 2 pitches, but it's really probably 3 or 4 with the different speeds that he's putting on those off-speed pitches as well.
2-2. Creeth kind of comes out of that three-quarter arm slot, not quite a sidewinder, but doesn't exactly come over the top either. Rumsey trying to beat it out and not quite able to do so, as Creeth will beat him to the bag and throw a little behind the back pass to Bonds for the around the horn throws, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup in McCulley Sayre. 3-1 on the put out for out number 1, and the Mountain Lions down to their final 2 outs, but top of the lineup coming up. And as I kind of alluded to earlier, in Mason Pastorello's spot, Brad Madison waits on the on-deck circle, so we'll get a pinch hitter after Sayre's at bat. First pitch to Sayre, there's that curveball again for strike 1. Kind of has early movement on that curveball, and it kind of straightens out as it goes, which is, I would argue, more awkward for the hitter than a classic curveball, as that fastball's in there for strike 2 on the outside half.
Yeah, he's got the slow off speed, then he comes at you with a high 80-mile-an-hour fastball, and just it throws hitters off.
There's that fastball again, poked up the middle though. Can he beat it to first? Nice play at second by Bonds, and that records the out, as he had to kind of come around it and throw on the run, but beats Sayre to the bag for out number 2. And the Mountain Lions down to their final out, and it will be Brad Madison to take the at-bat.
Now batting, number 15, Brad Madison.
So Pastorello will end his offensive day 0 for 3 with a sac fly. Has a ground out, a strikeout, and a fly out after that first inning sac fly. First pitch in there on the outside half for strike one on Madison.
Good curveball there.
Very good curveball indeed. 0-2 quickly on Brad Mad, as he's called in the dugout. Not sure if he likes that or not. And rung up, strike 3 called, and that ends the game. Caught looking on the inside curveball, and that ends the day and gives the Orediggers 5th place in the RMAC. They take game 1 of this 4-game set by a final score of 8-5, and we'll get set for game 2 here in about 45 minutes or so. But nice job there by the Orediggers to outpace the Mount Lions offensively. They traded blows all day, but ultimately coming out on top is the Orediggers. They improve in the RMAC to 15-14. The Mount Lions drop to 14-15, but we'll see what happens in game 2. It'll be a 7-inning affair in the nightcap of this one. Like we said, it'll be about 30 to 45 minutes from now before we get to that one. So don't go too far. We'll have more baseball action for you from Mount Lion Park after this. Michael, final thoughts on this one before we step away?
Story of the long ball. Lots of home runs in this game, and the Orediggers come out on top after that. Let's see some more offense in the next couple of games. Why not?
Really nothing to be ashamed of from the Mount Lion side of things, though. Just a couple of pitches go the way of the Orediggers, and they're able to catch up to those, and really that is the difference in this one. But moving forward, it'll be game 2 between these two teams from Mount Lion Park after a short intermission. We'll step away for now. My name is Jake Ross alongside Michael Newman. For all of our crew here, our camera crew, everyone back in the truck, we appreciate your support of Mount Lion Athletics as always. You've been watching Mount Lion Baseball on UCCS Live and the RMAC Network, saying so long for now, from Colorado Springs.